So for this project you are going to need 3 canvases, a Chanel printout that I'm going to use as a stencil, some paintbrushes, scissors, a pencil, and acrylic paints of your choice. For the first canvas, I'm going to start out by cutting out my Chanel stencil. I just googled Chanel logo on Google Images and this is the image that came up. If you want to print it, I will link the image down below. Another thing to keep in mind is that I did use photo paper to print out this stencil. It will make it sturdier in the end. If you can use cardstock or anything that is thicker than just regular paper, it would really help you out a ton. Also make sure that you cut out the letters as well. Be very careful in this part and take your time so that way it'll look nice in the end. Once you have cut out the letters, go ahead and put some of your blue paint in. I actually went ahead and added some white with it to make it a little bit more pastel. You can use any color that you want for the background though. Keep in mind this is going to be the entire color of the background. I'm going to go ahead and paint my entire canvas this blue color. I am adding on some water to kind of loosen up the paint and make it go on smoother. Acrylic paint can be very thick, so using some water with it really helps loosen it up and helps you get the job done faster. After we're done painting the canvas, you want to wait for it to dry and then you're going to start painting on your floral print. I got 3 shades of pink and I'm using the lighter pink to just make half circles and kind of create blobs that look like roses. You want to add water in with it so that it creates sort of a texture. The water will allow the paint to look sheer in some areas. That way you could kind of use them as guides for the shadows that we are going to be creating after we are done painting all of these blobs for the roses. Next you want to take a small detailing brush and you want to take that and just start creating little details for the roses. I always start in the middle and I kind of make half circles around it too. And I kind of use the water to loosen up and blend out the paint and just kind of make it look like a rose. I'm going to show you a few of the roses that I'm going to paint so that way you can kind of see how I do it. It is a little hard to explain, so maybe just by watching it you guys can see what I mean. Next we're going to go in with the dark pink, and I'm only going to focus this in the center of the roses. I'm going to kind of shadow the other dark pink color and just kind of outline some of the strokes that I had already made. And this is just going to give the flowers a little bit more depth and make them look more realistic. Next, I'm going to go back in with the pastel pink color, and I'm going to go back in and fill in any areas that are very sheer or that could just use some more color, and I'm going to make sure that everything kind of connects. And it's just really kind of looking at it and having a good eye for knowing where to put the paint. Don't over stress yourself painting, just kind of paint fearlessly and do it kind of effortless, because I feel like it comes out better that way anyway than when you worry too much about the details. To finish off the flowers, I'm going to take some green paint and just draw on some leaves. I like to put 1 to 2 leaves on each rose, and then I kind of just shear it out in the center with some of the water to make it look more three-dimensional. Once you are done with that, your canvas should look something like this. You can go ahead and leave it like that, but I wanted to make it a little classier. So I'm taking my Chanel stencils and arranging them how I want them, and then I'm just going to trace over the letters to kind of draw them on the canvas. Next, I am taking some black paint and I'm going to go ahead and paint in my letters. I'm also using some water to loosen up the paint some and help me paint the letters in easier. And you just want to be very careful and do this very slowly, so that way you make sure that you do it right. After I finished painting in the letters and the Chanel logo, I just went ahead and went back into my paint and just touched up some areas and some corners and stuff that looked a little bit messy to make it look cleaner and sharper. And I went back in with black paint as well to kind of clean up and darken up any areas that needed more paint. For the second canvas, I'm going to take the baby pink color and I'm going to mix it with white just to make it even more pastel. And I'm going to paint that entire canvas with the baby pink color and of course some water to loosen up the paint. After my canvas dried, I went in and I painted on some MAC lipsticks, and then I am going to go ahead and paint them in. If you want the picture that I used to paint these, I will link it down below. I actually did freehand it, I did not trace it, I just kind of looked at a picture and painted on the lipsticks. And I'm just going to fill in the bottoms black, and then I'm going to take some white paint and mix it in with the black and add a little bit of gray to the right side of the lipstick to kind of create a shadow and make it look more three-dimensional. After that, I went in and outlined the rest of the lipstick bottle with black, and I just kind of outlined it with the pencil brush. And after that, I went in with some white and black paint, which I mixed in order to create a gray color, and I went ahead and took that and I filled in the entire lipstick. I also took some darker gray that you will see here in a minute, and I put the darker gray sort of on the right side to kind of create shadows. You can just kind of follow what I'm doing. I also went in and added the MAC letters onto the lipstick, and then I decided to do the first lipstick hot pink. So I outlined it with the darker pink color, and then I colored it in with a lighter pink. Afterwards, I added a little bit of white onto the left side of the lipstick just to kind of give it a highlight and make it look more glossy. For the third canvas, I went ahead and took my galaxy box to create sort of a rectangular shape for the Chanel bottle. I did take a picture from online and I looked at it and then I kind of free-handed the rest of it. If you're not good at drawing, you can go ahead and print it out and just trace it. It's up to you. But I've actually, I'm decent at drawing, so I went ahead and just free-handed it all. afterwards, I just went in with some black paint, mixed it in with some water, and kind of traced it to make it look more like a watercolored kind of Chanel bottle. I didn't want it to be too perfect, so I didn't focus a whole lot on the details. Like I said, just paint fearlessly. And then I took some black and I created a shadow under the bottle so that it looked like it was kind of reflected. And I really like doing this because it just makes it look more like dramatic, I guess. I wanted the liquid in my perfume bottle to be pink, so I went in with some light pink and I colored in the entire inside of the bottle. And I also went in with some darker pink and I created some shadows you will see here in a minute. So after you are done with coloring the Chanel bottle, those are all of the canvases. I hope you guys enjoyed this DIY. Leave me a comment down below if you decided to try any of them. Send me pictures on Instagram or Twitter, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!